Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be watching mid Razor, specifically Marlene's Razor, and how he dominates this game. This was a very impressive performance on, in my opinion, one of the best heroes in Dota right now. He goes a somewhat standard Yasha into BKB build, but what's really weird is that after the BKB, he goes straight into a Blink Dagger. From there, he builds the Yasha into a Manta style, eventually completing a Hex, kind of going an assassin build, right? Not necessarily your standard Refresher Orb or Linken's or maybe Sanjin Yasha into AC, right? This is pretty off meta, so let's see how he pulls it off and makes it look good. And this guy's rank 7, so, you know, he's probably decent. Alright, before we get into the main part of the video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm not only posting videos here on YouTube, I also frequently post videos on the website. If you don't know what I'm talking about, almost every single day I'm posting a new video to the Game League website. We're going to teach you guys in depth about how to get to the next level. So if you want to become absolutely broken and really take your game to the next level, I'm going to be able to help you, because sometimes the guides on YouTube, there's either not enough of them, they're not specific, or they're just tier lists, which I know you guys love, but at the end of the day, the Game League website is going to help you get to the next level. So click the link down below and sign up. Alright, so getting into wave 1, I'm a little bit surprised, but he actually has his W skilled. I suppose you can probably steal about 7 to 14 damage with the first link if you're good about it. And you'll see that getting into the first wave, you don't want to link right away. You want to link when both of the first creeps are about half health. And the reason why is that after you steal about 20 damage, which, you know, he's against Lina, so that's fine. 20 damage against Lina is more than enough, because now Lina's hitting for about 40 and you're hitting for like 75, right? And so yeah, with that added damage, with that bonus damage, he's able to get 3 denies on the first wave, 4 denies on the first wave, which is obviously incredible. And from there, unfortunately, takes a lot of harass. This is kind of the downside of something like Razor against Lina. You have way worse attack range than her, and so you will get bullied. But 4 denies on the first wave due to the late link is really great. From there, it's kind of the same thing. You just want to look for any opportunity where the mid steps up a little bit, and you're just trying to steal about 10 to 20 damage. You don't have to steal a billion, right? He even does use his Q for a little bit of extra harass. You just want around 20 damage, right? You don't even necessarily need 20, because you'll notice it just puts them in this terrible range where they're most likely to get denied. Lorenoff on the Lina does a pretty good job of preventing it, but for the most part, you'll get a couple of denies here or there. After that, he puts 2 points in his Q and is going to use that to shove the wave and specifically secure the range creep. He does buy tangos, and from there he rushes boots. The boots are just going to allow you to get your W off and keep it going, and that's pretty key. I will admit this bottle refill definitely helped his lane a lot, because Lina honestly pressures Razor really well, right? Like, this is one of Razor's worst possible matchups, but with the boots timing, he actually goes for an aggressive link. I didn't think this link was as good necessarily, because he couldn't get as many denies off of it, right? Typically you want to let the lane develop a bit and then link, but it was still fine. He got some good damage and a few CS. And after everything is said and done, he's 22-12 against the 14-2 of Lina, which is really impressive, right? Because honestly, I don't think this is that good of a matchup, so it's super good. From there, he's going to pick up raindrops, wand, and a wind lace just to be as fight ready as possible. If you don't go these items on mid-Razor, you're going to have a hard time kind of doing anything, as this is a very aggressive link, but it is going to get the job done. A beautiful Q from the Muerta into the Gaze of the Lich gets the job done. And honestly, this play from the Tusk is absolutely insane, but I guess he takes away a shield rune from the Razor? I don't know. I feel like feeding away a kill is not worth it, but he gets another kill on the Razor. At around minute 8 here, he's going to push in the wave and look for the top rune. Fortunately for him, he does get the rune, he gets a regen rune, and he immediately runs to the top side of the map. At this point in the game, the Tidehunter had Ravage, and so a Ravage into the Razor spells would kill the PA. Unfortunately, the PA reads the movement, and so he doesn't get the kill, but it's okay, right? He kind of forced the PA out of the top side of the map, which is exactly where she wants to farm. She doesn't want to have to kill these neutrals, but, you know, his rotation will force her to, so that's good. And then he TVs bottom, so he forces the carry into a bad position, right, into suboptimal farm, and then is fast enough to actually TP to bottom. Pops his Q, pops his ulti, which reduces armor and does damage over time on the lowest HP target, and he's able to get a triple kill for his team. Now moving in towards the mid game, honestly, Marlene is way more active than I would have expected. At the 11:30 minute mark here, he makes a rotation to the top side of the map. Personally, I expected him to just push out mid and contest the 12-minute rune, but he does something way more aggressive. Also, he takes his level 10 14 agility talent. This talent's just insane. It's so much damage, it's armor, and it's attack speed. Yeah, and he wraps on the PA. Now, they don't get the kill. This is just once again a good read from the Phantom Assassin. Blur is a stupid ability, but they don't get the kill. It's still alright though. Once again, he forces the PA into a position where she can't farm what she wants. because the PA wants to farm the incoming top waves. That's the most optimal farm for the PA. And so by him rotating to the top side of the map, even though he doesn't kill her twice now, it has limited her farm greatly. And that's what most mid players don't understand. Simple rotations to especially greedy carry players, like this VTune guy, he is the most greedy carry player in all of Dota. And I'm not just saying that, he's unironically absurdly greedy. Look at his items, and he does this most games, where he just has battle fury components, no treads, no boots, no nothing, right? He's extremely easy to gank, can't fight back, right? He's just pure farm. And so I guess Marlene, sort of knowing this, or just wanting to pressure the carry in general, takes advantage of it and punishes him hard. Now at this point of the game, I think this is kind of mostly, well, he should swap in his Ogre Axe. It's a bit of a mistake, could matter, but ends up not mattering. Just pops his ulti. This is honestly just a good Ravage. Bad read from the enemy team, they could not fight. Huge Lich ulti too. Oh my god. Lich in the early game, if you mess up, you just lose the fight. So from there, he actually does slow down the pace of the game. I think it's kind of just him saying, okay, we're moving into the mid game, the enemy team's gonna group up a bit, and Razor without BKB is sort of a bad hero. Like, obviously the enemy team might mess up and not go on you, and then you're gonna kill them all, because you do a ton of damage if you get ignored. But let's say that doesn't happen because you're essentially a melee hero, right? Everything you do is close range besides your Q. If that's the case, assuming they actually go on you, it's very hard to do anything early on, like quite difficult. And so he's gonna wait for his BKB, kind of slows down the pace of the game, farms that up, gets it, and funny enough, it ends up instantly turning into sort of a one fight here, at least not a fight, but a one engagement where he's able to kill off the Tusk, just barely comes off the courier, and he turns it around. Now with his ulti and BKB on cooldown, he once again slows down the pace of the game, and I think this is why this guy is really high rank. He doesn't force bad shit, he understands kind of the movements that are reliable and consistent. He's not even necessarily making like flashy plays, he's just making the good plays, and he knows what the good plays are, and hopefully this video is making that more clear to you, at least what some of the good plays can be. And from there, it's kind of just a rinse repeat. When his ulti is off cooldown, he sort of looks for kills and groups up with his team. When his ulti is on cooldown, he doesn't, right? I would say Razor without ulti just lacks damage. Honestly, yes, you could still sap 150 damage or so, but for the most part, it's not good enough as... Oh, he links up to Lina here, and with the BKB, just whips her down. I guess that's the Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger timing. Also, he has a great Lotus. Helps out with the mana. Remember to pick those up. And just with the Link, willing to use the BKB for the solo kill, which is huge. It gives him a full level. Oh, boy. Gives him a full level, and he secures himself the Illusion Rune, which he'll eventually go take. And then, yeah, it's funny. It's just like a rinse repeat of the same ideas. Ulti on cooldown, BKB on cooldown, into the jungle, pushing out waves, looking for the Wisdom Rune, right? Just kind of doing the outside of the map, farm it up type thing. So rinse, repeat, get stuff done, get a kill, and then go farm. And same thing here, with everything back up, he's going to group up with his team around the mid lane. He's going to look for the rune, because why not, right? An arcane rune is absolutely huge, and so is a haste, an illusion, an invis, whatever it is, as he finds the PA. This was just a good TP. Sees her split pushing, knows he can't fight her, kicks her out, forces the BKB, that's huge. Yes, it does put his ulti on cooldown, it also puts his TP on cooldown, but with some good map awareness, he knows he's not going to get ganked top, he can push out top, then use the portal, get to bottom, reconnect with his team as his ulti's coming back up, because he used the arcane rune on the last ulti usage. And I would say from a winning position, he's doing almost exactly what you'd want him to do. The Darkseer was caught split pushing, and so instead of letting this guy do whatever he wants, he TPs in and once again forces another TP. Then he's going to connect back towards the mid lane, and eventually they'll be able to close out the enemy. This entire time as well, they're doing a great job of just out farming them. They're now 12k ahead, and this is mostly because of his choking. Now at this point of the game, the enemy team truly can't fight him. At level 15, he took 14 strength, and at level 20, he takes the extremely broken minus 0.1 second Eye of the Storm strike interval. This makes your ulti hit more quickly, and it's key because it stacks the armor reduction, so every single hit makes every auto attack do more damage, and every strike of the ultimate do more damage. So this talent is massive. It's super notable. Yeah, so from there, we're going to see a smoke up. He's got a haste rune. They're going to look on the mid wave. He's going to go in, right? Just complete psycho. He knows he can't really get gone. Does get hexed, but because of the haste, he's completely fine. And they find a good jump on the enemy PA. She barely gets away, but you could see the disruption that Marlene caused. He goes in and no one can fight him. No one wants to deal with the BKB Razor. Darkseer gets solo killed if he wastes Surge. Honestly, even if he uses Surge properly, he might just die because Razor's pretty damn fast and can track very well. But yeah, no one wants to fight him, they all get zoned out, and the PA gets left alone and nearly dies. Alright, to end off the game, we're going to be looking at the Refresher Orb timing. I would argue that Razor is the most effective Refresher Orb user in the entire game. And you might be saying, oh, what about something like Enigma? I mean, sure, but honestly, in a lot of games, it's sometimes hard to use double black hole, especially if there's cancels. For Razor, it's extremely easy. You just use your first BKB, use your first Eye of the Storm, blink in, Hex, whatever you have, right? But mostly just use your ulti, use your BKB, then you refresh, and then when your BKB is running out, you use your second BKB, and you immediately use the second Eye of the Storm, right? You don't wait on the second Eye of the Storm, because they stack, right? And as we talked about, the more hits, the better, because the more hits, the more effective the hits are. And so we'll see in this team fight as they're gonna go up, right? He just kind of jumps in, YOLO, Ravage onto the PA. That's honestly a cool play, right? And he goes in, has his BKB going, double Eye of the Storm. Well, he should have popped the second Eye of the Storm. He's a little bit slow on it. You want to do it immediately, right? You'll see, he pops it here, now link onto Lina, and look at her health. This is through a Crimson Guard. As it stacks up, you just decimate heroes. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? Just solo kills the Lina. And trust me, if the fight developed and they didn't instantly kill them all, he would have killed them all. Like, this hero is insane late game. It's ridiculous. But all right, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next one. And I'm out. Peace.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below. And I'm out. Peace.